Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're diving into one of the most confusing situations in dating. When a woman rejects you, disappears, and then suddenly circles back like nothing happened. It leaves you wondering, why now? What changed? Should I take her seriously, or is this just a trap? So today I'm going to break down the brutal truth behind why women come back after rejecting you. We'll cover the psychology, the hidden motives, and most importantly, how you can handle it without losing your self-respect. Let's get into it. 1. Jealousy and loss of control. This one is more common than people think. Sometimes her return isn't about love at all. It's about ego. She might not want you, but she definitely doesn't want to see someone else have you. For example, she rejects you, months pass, and suddenly you're on Instagram looking happy, confident, maybe even with someone new. That's when her phone pings with, "Hey, how have you been?" out of nowhere. What's happening here isn't attraction, it's territorial behavior. It's the, "I don't want him, but I don't want anyone else to have him either" mindset. The danger is that she may not even be aware she's doing it. It's instinctive, tied to fear of losing control. The key sign: she shows up only when your life is going well without her. If she wasn't interested when you were available, but suddenly wants to check in when you're thriving, that's ego, not genuine desire. 2. She's second-guessing herself. Rejection often feels final, but doubts creep in over time. Maybe her friends are in stable relationships while she's still single. Maybe she scrolls through social media and sees couples enjoying vacations, building families, moving forward in life. That comparison sparks insecurity. Now she looks back at you and starts asking herself, "Did I make a mistake? Did I let go of something solid because I was chasing a fantasy?" But here's the problem. Her return isn't necessarily about you. It's about soothing her own uncertainty. She's reaching out because she feels left behind or lonely, not because she's sure about building a future with you. You don't want to become her emotional safety net, the guy she falls back on while she figures herself out. The kind of woman you want is certain, not half in and half out. 3. She sees you're thriving without her. This is one of the biggest triggers for a woman's return. When you handle rejection with composure, you don't chase, you don't beg, you don't spiral, you instantly separate yourself from most guys. Instead, you focus on your growth, you work out, you build financial stability, you get sharper socially, you're happier. That energy is magnetic. And here's where the psychology kicks in. When she sees you thriving without her, it forces her to reevaluate. She expected you to crumble, or at least stay stuck in the same place. But you didn't. You leveled up. That growth plants a seed of curiosity. What did I overlook? Why does he look even better now than before? But be careful. There's a difference between admiration and ego. Some women genuinely regret rejecting a guy once they see his growth. Others just hate the idea that you're better off without them. One comes from respect, the other comes from insecurity. Don't confuse the two. 4. The illusion of better options crumbled. Let's be honest, modern dating has created this illusion of infinite choice. Apps make it feel like there's always someone more attractive, more exciting, more successful, just one swipe away. So she might have passed you up because she thought something better was around the corner. Maybe she was caught up in the grass is greener mindset, but over time, she realizes that the dating pool isn't full of endless high-value men. Instead, she runs into guys who ghost, guys who lack consistency, guys who look good on paper but can't provide emotional connection. And slowly, that fantasy of better options collapses. Now she looks back at you differently. Not because you've changed, but because reality slapped her expectations in the face. But here's the brutal truth. If she's coming back because other men disappointed her, that's not choosing you. That's settling. You're not plan B, and you don't want to be with someone who only appreciates your value after every other option fails. 5. Nostalgia and emotional anchors. Never underestimate the power of emotional memory. Even if your time together was short, the way you made her feel can stick. Maybe you made her feel safe in ways others didn't. Maybe you challenged her to grow. Maybe you simply listened to her when most guys only cared about surface-level attraction. That kind of emotional imprint lingers. It shows up when she's lonely, when she's disappointed with someone new, or even when a random song or place reminds her of you. And suddenly, she's back in your DMs. The risk? She's not necessarily interested in building something with you today. She might just be chasing the memory of how you once made her feel. Nostalgia is powerful, but it's not the same as commitment. You need to separate the two. 6. Timing finally changed. This one's actually positive. Rejection isn't always about you. Sometimes it's about timing. She might have been emotionally overwhelmed, healing from a breakup, or afraid of opening up. At the time, rejecting you felt like self-preservation. But life changes. People heal, stability returns, and when she looks at you again, she sees the possibility she wasn't ready for before. Here's the catch. You have to figure out whether she's truly in a better place now, or if she's still emotionally unstable. If nothing has changed, you're signing up to repeat the same cycle. But if she's genuinely grown and healed, reconnection could actually work. Rare, but possible. 7. Loneliness hit harder than she expected. At first, being single can feel exciting. Freedom, attention from new people, the thrill of novelty. But after a while, that excitement fades. Nights get quieter, friends settle down. Dating apps become exhausting. That's when loneliness creeps in. And when loneliness gets heavy, people often reach back for the familiar. That's why your phone lights up with her message months later. But here's the problem. Reaching out of loneliness isn't the same as choosing you. It's choosing anyone who can temporarily fill the void. If you accept her back under those circumstances, you're at risk of becoming a distraction for her emptiness instead of a genuine partner. 8. She realized you're rare. Sometimes women underestimate a man's value. Maybe she thought your consistency, your patience, or your kindness were standard. She assumed she'd find those qualities easily elsewhere. But after enough disappointing encounters with men who lack those traits, it hits her. You weren't ordinary. You were rare. That realization can feel like regret, and regret can drive her straight back into your orbit. The important part here is this. Does she see your value now because she genuinely recognizes it? Or is she only coming back because she fears she won't find better? One comes from respect, the other from scarcity mindset. And those are two very different motivations. Here's the takeaway. Women come back for a lot of reasons. Jealousy, loneliness, nostalgia, regret, or even genuine growth. But not all of those reasons are healthy. So before you let someone back in, ask yourself, why is she coming back now? Has anything actually changed? Is she consistent or just curious? And most importantly, do you even want her back? Because at the end of the day, it's not all about her choice, it's about yours. Don't let your ego make a decision your peace will regret.